Dylan's movie reviews. Dylan's movie reviews. Dylan's movie reviews. Dylan's movie reviews.
A good dark comedy is rare. Not because dark humor is hard to pull off. Look at any popular shock jock or 13-year-old on Xbox Live to hear some downright rancid jokes. But good dark comedy is rare because true dark comedies depict material so heavy that if handled correctly, the audience won't really know whether to laugh or cry. They just react and hope their body knows what to do next. Four Lions, directed by Chris Morris, is one of those rare dark comedies. The film follows a group of 5 wannabe Muslim extremists in late 2000s London. The men each have their own reasons for wanting to enact jihad against the world, but they all have one unifying quality between them. They are all complete idiots.
Am I blowing a dog in a ditch? Or am I fucking Rambo?
Every plan, every action, every conversation, you are reminded again and again and again how utterly stupid all of these men are. And then you have to recognize at the same time that these men also want to commit mass terror against innocent people. You root for them because they are unbelievably naive. But you also hate them for their downright refusal to empathize with the world around them. Four Lions forces you into this constant juggling act of laughing at 5 idiots bickering over their hate of Maroon 5, and then sit in horror while you watch a young Muslim boy get radicalized to simply make friends. At the center of this emotional roller coaster sits Omar, captured brilliantly by a young Riz Ahmed of Sound of Metal fame in an early breakout role. Omar is a father, a brother, a spouse, and a very devoted extremist. His worldview has become so warped, he sees himself as a young Simba taking back Pride Rock from Scar by blowing himself up in front of all of his animal buddies. Omar is the only extremist with a lick of intelligence and charisma, so you want to support him, you root for him. But that also means rooting for the most successful suicide bomber.
This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
Omar struggles to rationalize his goals to anyone aside from himself. To Omar, everything makes sense. The world is raping and pillaging his people, his culture, and this is him joining the front lines of the battle. But no one else seems to get it. Ahmed plays this conflicted soul with tenderness and fury. His anger is palpable, but so is his wit and charm. He would be successful in any field. His chosen one just happens to be suicide bombing. In our American age of endless mass shootings, the isolation and radicalization portrayed in Four Lions hits home. You see 5 men that just want to make sense of a world that refuses to make sense of them. So they fight back in the most angry, frustrating, futile way they know how. Four Lions is raw. The camera work is slipshod and the dialogue is fast and loose. But that rawness only serves to create one of the most visceral, poignant, and gosh darn funny portrayals of modern isolation of today's young men. Four Lions empathizes as well as admonishes. It forces you to understand the quote-unquote enemy before you can simply cast blame. It's a good dark comedy, one that will have you laughing 1 minute and then reconsidering that laughter a second later. So take a look at this film. There aren't too many like it. Hey, thanks for watching my review. That movie sounded interesting in tone, style, feel, or plot, but you weren't quite sure yet. Here are 2 other movies that I think are pretty similar that you can watch right now on one of the streaming services. I put the links to them right below in the description, so check those out if you want to give it a try. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip side.